Bunch and Scoundrel.
Thank you, Soda, and our analysts. We are here on the caster desk. What a ridiculous start to not only the day, but also our second semi-finals. FM Esports able to take the first game. Let's reintroduce ourselves. My name is Joe Munchballs Fenny, and casting alongside me once again is Kiernan X Scoundrel Low. How are you feeling after that ridiculous match?
I had to just calm down a little bit and step outside, get a bit of cold air in my lungs because the game was on fire. That game was crazy. I mean, to have two pretty much 20-minute stomps yesterday from Infused, coming into what we imagine was going to be such a tough game for FM, they came out swinging.
I mean, like, we knew it was going to be a close game.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize it was
how close.
I mean, that was like one of the funnest games to cast in my entire career so far.
Yeah, I would have to say, Friendship and Magic Esports have done some they've given me some memories. I mean, this is like, you've got to imagine this is like Lord of the Rings, right? Nutri has been in exile. One of our analysts, Sona, if you haven't seen it, go to his Twitter. He wrote a fantastic creative writing piece about FM Esports.
Short story.
And actually, it pretty much epitomizes what just happened in that game. Nutri bursts in through the door going, I have returned.
Bursts in with his shadow dash, taunts three members.
Instead of bursting through the door, he just appears because of the shed. He goes, I have returned, guys. Flush taunt. And then, just cleans up. I mean, it was fantastic. I'm really looking forward because I know Choke won't take that lying down.
No.
Get as much farm as possible and then become useful in the later stages. Kino going to walk over a wall. And support also,
It's never a skill that he's had to practice. So maybe that can be attributed. He is only 15 behind so far in this game, so doing a little bit better than he was in the first game of this series. But across the board, no major CS leads, really. And we actually see Toaster has been back to base. He's grabbed himself a BF sword, and we're going to see Jokerism doing the same. He gets that BF sword as well. So
my issue for Kino going to the bot lane, it's very difficult to make a gank work against an Alistair Tristana lane when you've got a very low CC support. The only way you can get it to work is by putting that Eclipse down, I think it's called. I think it's Eclipse, basically the silence. Putting the silence down and then landing a cocoon and just hoping to God that you essentially get the snare afterwards, because then you get the chain CC. But it's never going to work otherwise. It's a very difficult lane to gank. The best lane you can put pressure on is an Orianna lane, because you're probably not going to want to pressure Nutri on the Malphite.
The minion block right there.
The best lane to pressure right now is the mid lane, because if you can blow the flash on Orianna, Orianna is probably one of the weakest champions in the mid lane without her flash to get away. She's like a sitting duck for most of the time. And we know Corki is a duck hunter, so in that situation, it's probably the best lane that you can apply pressure to here.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. We know Ziviz is a big fan of those old arcade games, liking to play the Duck Hunt a lot. But we'll see whether it's going to be the case in this one. We do see Dongs starting to head towards the bottom lane here. There's a pink in the tri-brush, so he might just be able to find an opportunity, and this is what they've been looking for so far this game. I don't believe he got spotted out by that minion there, but he is deciding to just back away. This is not a lane that's going to be particularly easy to gank for him. Yeah,
again, I'm trying to see who favors best out of low early pressure here, because obviously you've got both Kino and Dongs on pretty good early pressure champions. Cullen coming out. They want to protect this pink ward with their lives, but it's not going to happen.
No, it's not, and Tundra is going to get comboed here. Dongs comes in, lands the Sonic Wave, but once again, just the enemy's not in a position that he can really commit to that engagement on.
Had the flash kick, so could have followed up and maybe gone for the flash kick, but it was
Tundra had flash and heal available.
It was a very high risk taken. That is something that we actually failed to mention from Champ Select because we were too busy talking about the Corki, but Tundra taking heal, that's kind of a new one, but especially on Soraka when you take the increased heal masteries. Your heal applied to your allies is not going to be affected by Ignite because the source it's coming from is the Soraka. So with the increased healing as well, you get the increased heal percentage from heal summoner spell, plus obviously the increased heals from Soraka herself. So very clever to take the heal on the support in this case.
Yeah, and it's going to open up Toaster to have that exhaust. And generally in a 1 versus 1, you are going to see that the AD carry with exhaust typically will win the 1v1 against the AD carry with heal, just because of the sheer amount of damage that you can block with that ability. I wouldn't expect to see these two AD carries 1v1ing many times this game, though.
No, I imagine not. And actually, it's difficult lane to get kills across in both sides, because it's such a defensive and high sustain lane from Toaster and Tundra, but such a CC heavy and all-in lane from Choke. So unless Choke get the opportune moment to get an all-in, it's going to be difficult to take them down. And Toaster and Tundra are never going to be in a position where they're going to be applying enough pressure in a skirmish to get the kills, because obviously you're really going to be solely relying on Toaster for all of the damage, where Hado provides a little bit more utility in smaller skirmishes than the Soraka would.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the FM lineup and working out where that AP damage comes from, but I just realized we have Kino on Elise, and last game he went second item Rylai's Crystal Scepter. He is not afraid to build AP on that champion, and we're going to have Nutri on that Malphite as well, so a decent amount more than you would expect AP damage coming out from him as well. So actually, even with Ziviz on this Corki, he's going to be hybrid AP damage. There'll still be a significant amount of AP coming down.
He's got the special package.
He
oh
does
my god!
Indeed, and that's going to knock them straight back into the fight. Jokerism going to be focused down. The Ignite is ticking. That's the repel, and Kino picks up first blood. Hado, there's no way he's pulling himself out of this one, and that's a double kill for the FM jungler, and that is a fantastic gank.
That was single-handedly the best use of the special package I have ever seen so far on 5.23. Look at how amazing the positioning was from Ziviz's use of that. Jokerism uses both the flash. That singular rocket probably spelled his doom, and then Hado obviously had lost his flash from earlier. Double kill actually going over to Kino. Maybe not the most ideal target for the gold to go onto, but oh my word, Ziviz, you absolute monster.
Yeah, Ziviz just showing that clearly Corki is a viable mid lane champion, and he's really proving it in this matchup so far. And I just want to say as well, beautiful coordination from FM there. All 4 members converging onto that bottom lane at exactly the same time. Kino able to arrive, repel in, and pick up those killing blows. I mean, just to have that level of communication, that level of coordination when you're setting up a 4-man gank is so important to be able to do it all simultaneously.
I didn't even think, I actually completely forgot about the changes to Corki with the special delivery. Is it special delivery or something like that? But essentially, I completely forgot about that, because that adds a whole new dynamic to this Corki mid pick. It means he has the potential to isolate and break up team fights and then apply the burst afterwards. And he is going for the sort of hybrid AD classic build that we kind of see from Corki. Because obviously Corki's had to change that. Now his auto attacks are both, they do 110% damage, but they're 55% magic, 55% AD. So this hybrid Corki is just going to scale up like crazy. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Guinsoo's come out, potentially. Because it could happen. Obviously, it's favoured on Kog'Maw far more because of the attack speed. Oh, Jokerism again.
Jokerism again being aggressed upon. A nice combo, though, out of the Hado. That is going to deny them a little bit, but he's going to be focused on down. There's the flash from Toaster, and he picks up the kill. Hado is going to be able to flash away to safety with literally inches away from dying right there. But again, FM managed to capitalize on the bottom lane of Choke.
And look at Troll Raka right there, just completely healing her team up as she does. Oh, Tundra.
As you say that, though, he's going to be trolled because there are 3 people in the bush that he face checks. And now Toaster, he's caught between a rock and a hard place. He's going to be knocked away. Knocked out of the shockwave. No, disaster. And that's going to be a kill. Traded back. And look at the cleanup from Ziviz. He's taking everybody down. Numlocked having to slice and dice away, but Ziviz is tanking the tower. There's a double kill coming through from Nutri, and that's a kill into the hands of Ziviz as well. There is a delayed ace coming out from FM, and we've gone from 0-0 to 2-7 in the last 3 minutes.
Okay, so look at this. Toaster goes for the kill on Hado. He's going to go down here, but the whiff shockwave basically spells doom.
The anti-synergy.
They also had to use the kick to execute Toaster, and Nutri got a fantastic short-range double-man ultimate. Ziviz going so aggressive, but the real key things from this team fight was Nutri's really well-timed teleport, getting a beautiful ultimate off onto double members of FM, the fact that the kick had to be used for an execute, and the fact that Toaster was basically, everything was blown onto him, and then everyone else basically got into the back line and then applied the damage. I mean, beautiful, beautiful play from FM, and they are looking like a huge cohesive unit. They want to get the El Clasico final of the UK esports, and they are looking like they're going towards that right now. 3k gold lead, 5 kill advantage, and I believe they just took the dragon.
They did indeed. So they've got a tower and a dragon up on their opponents. And with that bottom tower down, that is going to give Tundra and Toaster a little bit more space to roam around the map and try and find other objectives to acquire. The question for me right now is, what is FM's game plan to continue to snowball this lead, to turn this lead into a victory?
Well, just keep doing what they're doing. Beautiful. I mean, they are applying really good pressure to the bot lane. And to be honest, I think that Kino has had a fantastic game this game, and Ziviz especially. FM have made smarter gameplay macro decisions based on map position. They know that their key lane is that bot lane. They know that there's no point wasting time on Nutri because he's not going to carry on a Malphite, and he's never going to win a 1v1. Ziviz is kind of winning by himself, to be honest. And they know that Nutri's going to be happy regardless, so they are putting huge amounts of pressure onto the FM bot lane. They're trying to get Toaster into a position where he can carry again, and their rotations from Ziviz and Kino have been fantastic. Kino 3-0-2 right now, a huge kill participation for the overall kills coming out from FM.
Yeah.
I have not been impressed with Dongs this game. He was far more effective on the Rek'Sai, in my opinion. Hasn't had enough pressure onto lanes or enough pressure onto Kino's jungle.
I feel like that's so crucial as well when you're going to pick the Lee Sin, is you have to be aggressive.
Tundra.
And that's exactly what we're going to see as Tundra is going to be knocked up, using that wish to try and keep himself alive. He's going to be focused down though and taken down. Kino as well is going to fall, and that's 2 kills for Choke. Now Nutri going to be the target, still has that unstoppable force and is going to be able to pull himself to safety. But over in the mid lane, we see the 2 AD carries of FM trying to push up, trying to find anything that they can, but Hado might just be able to find a way to block them off here. Ziv is going to be chunking him out. Look at the damage coming out from Corki right now. He's finished his Triforce, and he is not shy of throwing out those rockets. Toaster as well, going to be able to try and throw out some poke with... Oh, he's been fouled by Dongs, who's going so
Dongs,
aggressive,
though.
but he's gone way too aggressive. Can't get the Dragon's Rage off. And now Hado trying to escape from this one. Ziv is jumping forwards with the Valkyrie. The Shockwave is going to deny that chase, though. Or is it? One more rocket might just be enough. Trying to find it, trying to thread the needle with the piercing light from Toaster as well. They can't quite finish off the cow, though.
Yeah, Dongs, he wanted to use his kick to execute Toaster. He knew he was dead once Ziviz had flanked him. Didn't manage to get the kick off right at the end there. The only issue with FM's composition is if Tundra gets caught first, they are donezo. Like, that is them sealed up in a bucket. Unless they have everyone there to apply damage while Tundra is trying to tank up as much as possible, you know, they're in a really poor position if Tundra gets caught.
Yeah, they really are, but it might be Ziviz that's been caught right now. Oh, Jokerism gets caught by the snare. That is about as unfortunate as it gets, really, right there. And just look at the wave clear that they have. The rockets from Ziviz are doing crazy damage to these minions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is just what Corki does right now. They're going to lose this mid lane turret. I don't think Tundra is going to be able to solo defend it, but it doesn't look like Choke are too keen on pushing
pressure it.
No, they're actually going to send Jokerism back to base after that small engage. Toaster heading towards the bot lane because a nice wave is bouncing in his favor.
Yeah, weirdly enough, we see a static Shiv start coming out from Jokerism. So went back, got the BF Sword first item, and now has finished off his first tier 3 item in a static Shiv.
It's exactly what Toaster did last game. He picked up the BF Sword and the pickaxe, then went for the static Shiv because you get that mid-game damage spike from Tristana because it combos quite well with the fact that you're... I think he just used the special delivery on the blue buff.
Yeah. Hey man, let's,
hey, you got to apply pressure to that blue buff.
I mean, right now Ziviz is the UK innovator of mid Corki, so I'm not really going to question what he's doing on it. He already knows far more about this pick than I do.
Well,
I mean,
he certainly had a special delivery for the blue buff.
He certainly did. And,
he sure showed that blue buff much.
I mean, he certainly was shoving it around with the little bit of a knockback that you get on it. But
was he shoving it around? Was he applying it to the blue buff, mate? Was he?
Yeah. Yeah, he was. Physically, it actually knocks him back. So
yeah, it does. I was just teasing you, buddy.
I know. But we are going to be seeing FM. They do have a slight lead, but once again, even with the lead, they're not really trying to make these plays happen, just desperately trying to defend. Oh, beautiful shockwave onto 2. Tundra and Ziv is caught. Denies the Valkyrie as well. Tundra is going to be able to top some people off, but he's not got too much health to work with here. Obviously, Soraka's heal does mean that she has to give her own HP to her allies. So Tundra going to be heading back to base. This could be Choke's opportunity to try and pressure this tower.
Yeah, and they do need to apply a bit of pressure to this mid lane because that's the only real case they have yet to crack in the form of the choke defenses. If they can get this mid lane tower down, they can start to try and apply pressure in terms of vision into the jungle, because right now vision has been few and far between, in my opinion, for these teams. They haven't really had the chance to apply much apart from defensive and river wards. We haven't seen much delving into the enemy jungle. Obviously in the top lane, because Numlock is so far pushed up, he's managed to get some wards down in the red side jungle. And actually they're going to try and forgo Numlock being in the top lane, and they're just going to straight push down this mid lane. Numlock now going to react.
Certainly is, and that is going to be a tower going down in favor of FM.
Oh,
but Nutri going straight in for the fight. Ravano is obliterated, and now Dong's having to try and escape. Jokerism is on this side, trying to do what he can. Toaster using the culling in the wrong direction. He's being chased out by Dongs, but he is going to get the kill. Numlocked on this front line, tanking so much, but Ziviz is on the side. He's cleaning shop. He's going to be able to get the kill onto Numlocked, and look at the healing coming out from Tundra. He's all out of HP, but they've done enough. They've got the 4 kills, and they're getting a tier 2 tower.
That's the key thing, because no one's focusing Soraka in this teamfight. Nutri with a beautiful engage. They absolutely destroy Ravano, so the shockwave is out of the question. But look at Soraka. They're trying to get Toaster down here because he's so low, but Soraka's just free roaming, healing Toaster 24/7. That's why you ban Soraka, because that's what she does. You know, they're thinking, oh, we can execute Toaster, we can definitely get him down. And Tundra's just going, oh, no, heal, heal. And so, yeah, that's exactly what happens when you don't manage to focus the Soraka down before you go into the full-on team fight. And it was actually kind of greed eyes from Choke as well, because they were so desperate to get Toaster down because he was so close to death that they just kind of forgot about Tundra.
They forgot that he has a whole other team as well.
Yeah.
Zivis in the meantime as well. They got down that inhibitor tower, and we saw Zivis pick up a kill onto Hado during that replay. Zivis is 5-0-6 on this Corki mid. He's got the Sogways, he's got his Triforce. He is absolutely destroying Choke Gaming. And I mean, what do? He just comfortably 1v1 Jokerism in that fight.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's gone for the Haunting, guys, so this could actually be that Leandries that you were talking about.
And a BF sword.
And a BF sword, so it is the full-on hybrid Corki that we're seeing here. Gone for the pen boots as well, obviously, because all of his abilities. You know, actually, what's so interesting about going penetration boots on Corki now is they're actually more effective than they were previously, because now the auto-attack damage is halved in magic and halved in a physical. So now
Nutri going with the unstoppable force. He's forcing the fight right now. Hado going to be the focus target. Pearson Light going through and landing on Jokerism, but the Unbreakable Will doing a good job to keep Hado alive, but he's all out of cooldowns, and now he is going to be culled. That is going to be a kill going across to Toaster as the rest of FM arrive to pressure onto this bottom lane tier 2.
And Numlocked, as per his crocodile species, is so far away he could be in bloody Australia because he's just on the other side of the map right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't care. I just need to split push these guys. I'm not going to win any other way.
Yeah, I mean, he did get a tower for them, so tier 2 is going to be taken, and FM, they haven't actually achieved this objective just yet, so far Choke winning out in this trade.
Yeah, and they're going to push straight onto this tower. FM dominant right now as well. I'm not sure what Choke can do. Item spikes being hit left, right, and center. You've got Ryalize for Kino again, had a fantastic game. Nutri 207 picked up the Frozen Heart as well. And now we're seeing, I think that's going to go towards another attack speed item for Lucian. He could potentially go for the Triforce. We know that it synergizes very well with Lucian's kit, but he's got the Essence Reaver Rapid Fire already, so there's pretty huge combo and pretty huge item spikes coming out for Toaster.
I mean, we're praising individual players here for FM, but I mean, point out a character in that lineup that isn't doing exceptionally well this game. I mean, the highest deaths on the lineup is 2, and that's on the most supportive champions in this roster right now. And I mean, I use the word supportive very lightly as the Elise yet again going with the Rylai's Crystal Scepter. A lot of damage going to be coming out from that Spider. But FM, they're just in such a phenomenal position to just continue to push.
Yeah, and I need some of that friendship and magic that they've been using to get themselves through these you know, displays of pure team fight brilliance, because I don't know, man. It looks like it's working out for them.
Yeah, Zivis has a special delivery lined up for whoever happens to come near. Excited to see how he chooses to use that in a team fight. But Hado getting chunked out here. Unbreakable will be available. It might just be forced, though. The inhibitor certainly will be forced at this rate, and this is the power of having multiple AD carries, ladies and gentlemen. Just annihilating that inhibitor.
And the FM we're seeing this game are far more confident than the FM that we saw last game. They know they have it in them now to take... Oh my god, Nutri!
Nutri goes in once again. Jokerism going to be chased by a ridiculous Valkyrie from Ziviz. He might have put himself in a bad spot, though.
Oh, the shockwave
on to do. Ziviz so close to going down, and he does. Double kill comes through for Raveno. And now, with only 3 members remaining on either side, it could go either way. Toaster, though, is still here. He's melting down the health bar of Hado, who manages to escape somehow. Toaster's solo, and the AD carry is here. Toaster, what is this? He finally goes down. The healing from Tundra is ridiculous, but Raveno trying to sweep up the fight. 2 members remaining from either team. What a crazy skirmish.
Well, we're going to have a quick look here. Nutri with the absolute surprise engage onto Jokerism. Beautiful special delivery, but a nice ultimate from Jokerism means he manages to push Ziviz away. The shockwave was fantastic. They managed to take out Kino, who is actually a pretty solid threat at this point as well. And right now it's just Toaster attempting to clean up. You see how much damage and how much work he manages to get done with just Tundra healing him from the backline. You know, Tundra is still untouched at this point in time. And he is just that ambulance service, as a Soraka can be. So if you don't take Tundra out, you're not going to win these team fights. And you could arguably say that was actually a pretty decent team fight for Choke, because they came out of it 3 for 3 when they're in such a disadvantageous position in the game overall. But you know, FM will be happy with the inhibitor and a 3 for 3, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah, and I think a massive thing here for Choke is look at Raveno. He's built that Rod of Ages, which has finally finished stacking. He's got a death cap as well, and he's heading towards the Zhonya's. FM going to be able to take away this Baron. I don't think there's anything Choke can do to try and contest this one. They're going to try nonetheless, though, but the Baron has gone down, and Numlocked has found himself in an awful position. He's going to be called once again, and in fact just stands still as he drops to the floor. And now we're going to see FM heading up towards this top lane. The tier 1 is still available for them, so they have a whole lot of gold to hoover up in this top lane.
Hado has been really struggling to make this Alistair work, if I'm completely honest. You know, unless he's catching Tundra in a headbutt POV combo and they're taking him out right at the start of the fight, they're going to find it so difficult to get anywhere in these team fights. You know, they're trying to focus down the threats, but the problem when you pick a Soraka is she's a threat in herself. You kind of need to get her down before you can focus down the threats, because it's 10 times harder to finish anyone off when they're just receiving basically full health bars from Tundra in the backline. Oh, Nutri going full deep again.
Doesn't manage to land the ultimate, though, and Ziviz is going to be able to Valkyrie back to safety. Hado tanking up the entire team here. The shockwave only lands onto 1, though. Raveno going to fall. That's going to be the Hado going down as well as the inhibitor. This is the second inhibitor. Baron is still going to be available. Ziviz just bullying the entire enemy team. Happy to tank the tower because he's got a Soraka holding his health bar high. And now the second Nexus tower is going to fall. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a 2-0 victory over Choke Gaming. FM Esports, people coining them as the underdog in this series, take the series 2-0. I cannot believe my eyes.
I actually genuinely have no idea how FM pulled this out of the bag. They've kept this under wraps. They've kept this new lineup, and they've been downplaying it, and they come in.
Maybe it was all a plan.
They come in swinging home runs here. That was absolutely ridiculous from these guys. I'm honestly a little bit proud of the FM roster.
Look at the grin on Ziviz's face.
I know, they're so happy, bless them. I mean, honestly, I think that the real problem for Choke was that they probably picked the Alistair Tristana to try and apply pressure in lane, but because of how well Tundra and Toaster play their laning phase, they never had the opportunity. Dongs was pressuring all the wrong lanes yet again. You know, essentially, they needed to pressure the bot lane because that's where FM had so much success previously. But Dongs was just hapless. He was kind of, he was running around. He was really unsure of himself. He tried to apply pressure he was trying to apply pressure in the mid lane. Yeah. But he really needed to do it in the bot lane. They had a good combo with the Alistair down there. They could have applied pressure to the Soraka, but it just wasn't happening.
No. And I think while Choke didn't really play to their strongest that we've ever seen them, Massive, massive props to FM. They just played so on point, especially in that second game. The first game was a lot more back and forth. It could really have gone either way. When we're at sort of the 30-minute the 30-minute mark, I think gold was like maybe 2,000 either way. But the second game, FM just completely ran away.
Well, they were definitely far more confident in that game. And Impaler brought up a point right at the start, and I talked about it in the cast. The top lane is such an important lane right now.
Yeah.
That if you're going to try and go for, exploit your weaknesses in the top lane like Infuse did yesterday with Alfari, you've got to pick a carry top laner. Numlocked, he's kind of a little bit behind in that sense. He's been played Renekton, and he played the first game he played Olaf. Yes, they're good. They definitely can carry with their team, but they're never going to 1v5. They're never going to win or put out solo damage that's going to be enough to carry by themselves. And it's why I said I think Irelia on Numlocked, it was open. I think he could have taken it. He could have applied far more pressure and maybe even been more of a carry force in the game.
Well, unfortunately, wasn't able to, and it is going to be FM taking the series 2-0. We have Lube over at the venue with the players, and he's ready to do a winner's interview. Let's see how FM are feeling off the back of that best of 3.